Hello, Professor. I learned a valuable lesson in the fact that Screencast-O-Matic does not translate well with a MacBook, and that is currently what my school has upgraded me to. And so I had to dig up someone's PC, and hence the delay. Thank you for your patience. Here is my Module 8 for EDL 851. I am Shay Twinter. So Article 1, ESSA prevented teachers from being evaluated solely on student performance. It kept the Secretary of Education from having any say as to how to define how effective teachers are. So the Secretary of Education couldn't say that an effective teacher was ... and create that. It gave power to the state to evaluate teachers and to give them permission to use more than just student scores. I think one of the big takeaways from Article 1 for me was that teacher evaluations should be meaningful and should provide the teacher with feedback that can be linked to professional development, which sounds exactly what my district does. So Article 2, I had two big takeaways. It talked about changes in teacher evaluation processes that have led to a rise in lawsuits. And just reading a lot of the lawsuits, I could understand why they're there, but I've never heard of them before. If I'm reading the legal jargon right, then many of these were dismissed by the judge. I'm guessing maybe lack of evidence or the case was found in favor of the state education and not the teachers. So I think as a teacher, it's our responsibility to make sure that we understand the evaluation process. So Article 3, I had more takeaways and more written on the page. Teacher performance evaluations have become a hot topic since the link to student performance has been added to the evaluation. States and even districts vary on how a teacher is evaluated and what an effective teacher looks like and how tenure is treated. I mentioned two districts side by side that had two separate views on that. Teacher unions are reticent about connecting teacher pay to evaluations and student score. They find that it is unfair for teachers who don't teach tested subjects to be evaluated using student test scores, which they have no impact on. I put that in there because that definitely applies to me. I teach choir, which is not a state tested subject, and I can imagine that if our school teachers are very good and they're doing a great job, but let's say it's a bad year and the math kids don't do very well. I would hate for my scores to go down because the math kids didn't do so well. So at East Middle School where I work, as a collective group, we choose two goals to work on improving from the list of professional development goals. So we will sit down during professional development one day, and the district chooses one, and then we get to choose from the other, whether it be classroom management, whether it be differentiation, it could be project-based learning, it could be, I forgot the other ones. This year I'm project-based learning. Then we write quarterly reviews on how we're progressing. It's through mylearningplan.com. It's a very legal form looking, and we submit it to the principal, that is our evaluator, and we are observed by the principal in a more formal setting. I am a tenured teacher, so usually mine is less formal. Sometimes it's just a walkthrough. I had one principal that would come to the concert, and that's when my evaluation was had. And then there's a follow-up conversation, but what I like is, I don't even think this is part of the formal process. My current principals will pop into my class with a post-it pack, and they will just write little things down on the post-it and stick it, somewhere I can find it when they leave. We don't ever have a conversation when they're there. They just, hey, this was great. I noticed this, and it's nice, even after teaching for 15 years, to have a little bit of there. A teacher in my district can refuse to sign off on their evaluation, and if it isn't resolved between the teacher and the principal, then it goes to the school board. I think at that point in time, the teachers union may get involved as well. But to be dreadfully honest, that's all I know. And I think that now after reading all of this, I'm like, I should probably know more. Um, for instance, Wagner versus Haslam is a court case that would impact me if I were involved in it because I teach a class that's not tested on the school, on the state exams. And the judge dismissed the case, and the union isn't planning on appealing. Um, Part of me would really like to know maybe what did that look like? Was there more involved with it, and there wasn't just enough proof? Was there already a state declaration that said that um, keeping this person accountable because of the scores is okay, and they're fighting state statute? It would be might have to do some more digging to figure out why the judge may have done that. How to follow legal issues. I think that as education leader, I would have to be very familiar with the policies of my school district as well as my state when it came to evaluations. My principal follows the board policy very closely and knows it really well. She knows state policy really well, and she just that's what she follows, and she has no interpretation on it. As a teacher, I am now encouraged to go and see what the policies that my state and district hold on teacher evaluations. Um, when you join a district, especially if it's a new one, I really feel like you should figure out what the policies say so that you know what to expect in case something happens. And that's all I have. Thanks.